Marjorie, I muted you too. So you're muted, even though we love you. Okay. All right. You can release your.
Oh, I know where it is. Okay, I'm gonna share it. Um, yeah.
Okay. I think that we are live right now. We are streaming live, and this is really exciting. There's a lot of pandemonium happening, and so we wanted to jump on the pandemonium wagon. All right, so we are live for Transformational Thursday. This is very exciting. We have a lot going on, and I wanted to change things up a bit, which we're always having to constantly change things. So right now I am hosting with a special guest today, my friend Gloria Grace Rand, and it's so exciting to have you. And how we came across with this idea today for this transformational Thursday was to talk about, like, I guess yesterday we know that we have a lot of anxiety going on. I'm on a lot of political pages,
Mhm.
that is my party that I believe in. And it's a great place for me to release and to talk with people who are like-minded,
Mhm.
and I feel like there's a lot of solace in that. And so yesterday when I heard Gloria talking yesterday about creating, mindset and peace, and like how to create this. What did you title it yesterday? Do you even title
It
it?
was, well, it was based on an affirmation. I am hopeful and positive.
Oh, that's what it was. I am
Yeah.
hopeful and positive. So yeah. So anyway, I heard it. It was just a quickie little thing that she had came up for her. And I was like, wow, let's expand on that today, because I think people really, really need it. So we're going to talk about that today. And what I'm going to do right now is share this video onto my personal page. And that way we can maybe have more people see it. And maybe if anybody else, who's out there would love to say hello, share it too. We're going to invite, I think, Gloria, did you put it into your Live, Love, Engage?
I did. I did. I put it on my, actually, I need to share it to the group
Oh,
too.
good. I'm going to share it right now
Um,
too. That way we can
yeah.
have, more people hear this, because, I think it's so, so important right now for people to hear what we're going to say, because there's a lot that's happening out there, and people are, just like I put in the post, they're angry, they're depressed, they're anxious. Oh my gosh, every feeling is welling up. We're like, how do we even say it? We're riding this wave of emotional craziness, and I don't even know if I really want to even leave the house, to tell you the truth. I don't mind walking through the neighborhood, but I don't want to go anywhere right now, because it's like, it was on one of the pages I was on. It was really funny. Somebody's 3-year old said, "Mommy, when are we going to stop watching the map station? I'm getting tired of the map station."
I
Which
don't blame them.
really, really funny. Exactly. So I thought that was, and I think that's important to laugh, which is something I'm going to be talking about today. I'm just making sure that we're being shared, and I can watch the comments, because I think watching the comments is really important for you guys to, if you're out there, please comment, tell us where you are, what you're going through, join us on the conversation. I do stream this live. Every Thursday. And, from Build Your Own Brilliance, you can get the link and join us live on Zoom, which is what Marjorie is doing now. So usually I might do readings, do transformation. There's always a topic. I'll bring in other people. It could be health, relationships, whatever. And then I love to have a little discussion after. So, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sherinata, and Sherinata Pollock, and I love helping women get out of stress and into success, and for their families too, with quick and easy um, techniques and programs and products that you can use within less than a minute to really feel the change within your life. I think that it's so important for us to incorporate this, because, as we all know, stress creates comes from so many avenues of environment, our personality, our homes, our lifestyle. And when we can learn to really incorporate it into our lives on a daily basis and teach it to our children, that's how we're going to change the world for generations. So, yeah, so I like to call myself a positive and, like a positive change activist for humanity and a life coach. So, and I would like to introduce Gloria as well, because we've known each other for a long time in our communities and we worked together before.
Yep.
And you are, I guess, life coaching now too. And go ahead and explain what you're doing and your community, because I have Build Your Brilliant Sisterhood Network. You have Live, Love, Engage. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you first off for inviting me into your world and to talk to your tribe today, Sherinata. I really appreciate you. And this lady does know her stuff. I am a past client and she has helped me tremendously. So just a shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
But yeah, it was something that you and I had worked on so long ago of dealing with, we had this idea of spiritual SEO, and it really is what I have been doing especially this last year, is really tapping into my spiritual side, and that's what I'm really more about right now, is helping. I really want to help you to stop doubting yourself and start being yourself. That is the book that I'm writing. I have a podcast that is also called Live, Love, Engage, and it's really about helping you to be able to live fully, to love deeply, and engage authentically. And it starts really with getting to know who you are as a true spiritual being. You're a child of God, and when you can really own that and own your value, it makes dealing with politics a lot easier, for one thing.
Right? It really does. And I think that's why, I have God bumps, as we call them, rather than goosebumps. Marjorie's like this the entire time. And that's like the importance of our groups and our tribes, is so that we can get out of this outside chaos and come within. And it doesn't matter whether you're Buddhist, Jesus, whatever it is that you believe in is your choice. But what is the most important is that you are a child of God, of this amazing universe, on this planet, having this human experience. And it's important to change, to become who it is that you want to be, which ultimately is love, light, happiness.
Absolutely.
And right now we can cut it like a knife. And you know what? The thing is that what we experience in the United States of America affects the entire world. The world is watching right now what is going on and how we are acting. And that is, I think, I'm on some mommy groups that our world, like around the world mommy groups, and we're having these conversations, and they're outside looking in at us like a fishbowl, right? And we're these fish swimming around, having no idea that how much, with all this emotional blowing bubbles everywhere, pretty much a lot of hot air, and we're not thinking about what is happening from the outside in. And so, but we don't want to really get into politics, because it's not about, whose side you are on.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we're all on the same side.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all still human beings, and that's the important thing, is the other is to understand that we create our world that we live in. We have that power to do it ourselves. And so no matter what is going on, in the outside world, what's important is, how are you? How are you being? What are you thinking? How are you acting? And you can choose to, distance yourself from the negativity, and focus in on the light that you are, and shine that and be a model. Because if we all were able to do that, a lot of this stuff would just fall away. So it's just a matter of gaining the confidence to be true to who you are, and show that. And because you are, as you mentioned, we are love, really. That's what it comes down to. So let's show that. in the world, you know?
Exactly, exactly. And, I mean, I'm sure some of us have been showing our love to food, to alcohol lately as outlets, and getting a lot of, or maybe, for some people, it might be a lot of CBD, with tea. And I think the CBD THC market's going to rise right now. But for the most part, I think the most important thing is, and I'm saying it funny because, right now, like for me, I wrote down a little acronym that I would like to share. And like, because I think the most important part is realizing this anxiety that we're holding, it doesn't serve us because ultimately we cannot control the outcome.
That's
We
right.
can control our one vote,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Yeah.
We can't control anybody else's opinions
Nope.
but our own. Anybody else's anger but our
Mm-hmm.
own. And we can, I always say, when you point one finger forward, you're pointing three fingers back.
That's right.
So, I'm, like, I think what we'll do is I think share. I always do a meditation at the end. So I would, if anybody's watching, if you're out there, please, post and say where you're from, what you're experiencing, because I think that's really important right now is what are you experiencing and putting that out there. And because we want to be able to help you and identify with that. And then Marjorie, if you want to come in real quick and say, what, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself if you would like to say anything. What are you feeling right now?
There, I'm Marjorie. I'm from Pembroke Pines, and I'm very happy for this event or for this. Oh, that's my husband. I'm so sorry. I got to
I'll
get
put
it.
you on mute.
Okay. Always happens, right?
Right. I know
Either that or the dog.
Yes.
My dogs will bark, when I'm doing a podcast sometimes.
I know that was so funny. I mean, the timing was so perfect. And that's how it is. We are
Yep.
constantly being interrupted with our thoughts. And I think that actually was a great sign right there, wasn't it?
Mhm.
It's a perfect sign for us to stop and realize that all that's going on out there is interrupting the peace within you.
Mhm.
That's it. It's your husband. It's the TV.
Yeah.
It's your children. I thought
Yeah.
it was perfect, Marjorie, because we just said, wow, that was like a perfect sign. What just happened, because our life right now, every day as it is always full of interruptions in the middle of our thoughts. And then it's our husbands, it's the TV, it's the news, it's our
Kids.
children, it's our
Yes.
family, it's our friends, it's our business. And right now it's even escalated. So how, like, do we stop that? We have to mute ourselves.
Yeah.
We or both mute them, but we can't mute them. So we have to mute ourselves and just
Yeah.
go back when we need to.
But
So
the common thread, why he called, what's going on with
mhm.
the house. So it has to do something with
Oh, okay,
all.
interesting. So we'll share that. We'll talk about that on the side talk.
Sure, of course. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
So,
how are you handling this?
you know, um, I went into a bit of depression. Now it's a new moon, right?
uh,
And
we are going into a new moon.
yeah, the new moon always find me in a very low state of a very low ebb. I've noticed this constantly. With new moon, I'm a little bit hazy, a little bit ungrounded. However, so the election, of course, I kind of went back to feeling the way I did 4 years ago. Um, really, I'm in a rut. So after Tuesday night, I decided not to watch any more political news on the TV. And one of my grandsons called me like 12 o'clock Tuesday night to find out if I was still asleep. He wanted to discuss it. So we had a nice chat. And so yesterday I didn't watch anything regarding the election. And I've decided no matter what the outcome is, I'll have to accept it. I'll have to find a way to live with the result, whether it be what I want or not. So I was in a little funk yesterday, but I'm feeling better today. I'm feeling more assured and more confident and more alive and more optimistic. And it's okay. Whatever it is, it's okay. It's what can I do? We can't control what others are doing. We can only control
Very
what we're
good. That was
so
great. And you feel better today because you stepped away. You,
I did what?
you stepped away. So now you feel
Away.
better. And that rhymes. And that rhymes.
Right.
You stepped away, so you feel better today. And
Okay.
it's like a song, you know, and it sings to our heart because when we do step away, we feel better at that
Yeah,
day or
that's true.
tomorrow, whatever day it is,
Right.
in that
Mhm.
moment,
Mhm.
sharing.
Mhm.
And you know, and sometimes we don't see all the comments, and we'll always come back to comments online too. So if
Mhm.
we miss them, we will come back. Sometimes I see them in tandem as they're being spoken, and
Mhm.
sometimes I see them after. So you know, we just do the best we can with our live comments. And I just please definitely keep posting, and we will come back to them as well. So, all right. So with that being said, Margie, I'm going to put you on mute for a minute, okay? And then we're going to continue on the conversation. So we'll come back to you in a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Ask to unmute. So I think you need to unmute yourself. Oh, you
Oh,
did. Perfect. You did it. You did. You unmuted yourself. Sorry. You muted. Go back and mute yourself.
mute myself now.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So go ahead, Gloria, and I'd like you to share a little bit of something along with your quote from yesterday from the Daily Word, and
Mhm.
what your experience was regarding mindset and where you were coming from. And then I'm going to share my little thing, and I think then we can wrap things up and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, this whole thing came about because I've been spending time in the mornings, um, really, I guess doing automatic writing is what it comes down to. So I take the daily word affirmation and then I just start writing and see what comes up. And for me yesterday, it really was interesting that, well, number one, I loved the affirmation that came up. It was like, I am hopeful and positive. And because like Marjorie 4 years ago, I was not hopeful and positive. I was very angry and frustrated and disappointed and all of those emotions. And but this time around, even leading up to it, it was like I just had decided that whatever was going to happen was going to happen because, as you said, I couldn't control it, but instead I could start thinking about, well, how do I want to show up in the world? How do I want to be? And and knowing that, I believe the universe has our back, your higher self, God, whatever you want to call it. Um, and as long as I'm focused on being the way that I want to be and being, a light in the world and loving myself and loving others, that all the rest of that stuff is going to take care of itself. It really isn't going to impact me directly. And even if it does, I still know I love what Abraham Hicks says. Everything's always working out for me, and that's that has become my mantra. Everything's always working out for me, and we can manifest that. We absolutely can do it by just maintaining a positive um, outlook. It's challenging. I mean, I live with someone who is the opposite political spectrum of me, and, but I love him anyway, and it's okay. And we're I know sometimes he likes to be able to push me a little bit, but I'm learning now that I can just, yes, that's nice, honey, and then I don't have to engage
Yeah,
because
I
he
think
loves,
that's the biggest question
yeah.
is for a lot of people is how do we live in a world or in a house or in a home or in a business when people think so differently than us? How do we continue this relationship without, being triggered? And I think that's the biggest question for everybody because everybody has an opinion and their opinion is right. And when somebody doesn't understand our opinion, we lose friendships, we lose family, we lose relationships, we lose, our sanity.
Mm.
And our we lose our unhappiness, or we lose happiness and creating unhappiness and stress. So what would you say, like, and if you would like to share the little story about, I think it's perspective,
Mhm.
really important too, but go ahead and answer that for me.
Well, and I'm still, I still constantly am having to sometimes relearn it for myself and practice it. And actually, the other day, I think I went to Abraham Hicks and found a good video about relationships and things. And ultimately, it comes down to, I would say, to be able to deal with someone whose opinion you don't know is listen with an open heart and remember or think of something about that person that you really do like and that you love. And especially if this is someone that you are close to, and focus on that rather than focusing in on where you are different and where you are um, you know having a conflict of opinions. Let's put it that way, because in the grand scheme of things, what's more important? Is it the relationship, maintaining that and finding instead other common ground? And maybe sometimes you might just have to say, you know, I love you and I'd rather not have this discussion with you about that because we just don't agree. And there's no sense in us fighting about it. Let's just agree to disagree and talk about other things where we do have more common ground. And let's have some fun doing something else and not do that, because life is also too short to spend on feeling angry and frustrated and all of those negative emotions, because you never know what's going to happen to you or to that other person. And wouldn't it be better to just always hold them in love instead? Because at our core, we are still the same, no matter what.
Share the story about your sister and what you shared yesterday.
Oh God. So what did I show? Well, now I don't even remember exactly.
Well, it was somewhat about, it was kind of what you're saying. It's like, what's more important here?
Oh yeah. Because my sister, she transitioned 4 years ago. She had cancer, and like I said, 4 years ago, we were both upset at the outcome of the election, um, despite what we had hoped would happen. Um, but again, the fact that I don't have her around anymore, is something I had to come to terms with. And at the same time, I know she is with me now because she keeps making herself known to me and leading me to different things, even some writings that she has done recently. Well, not recently, but she had done in the past about her experiences and her limiting beliefs and things that she had. But ultimately, well, I think she's become my guardian angel, and is helping me to see that life is, like I said, life is short, and it's a lot better to focus on things that are good, and rather than focus on the negative stuff that's out there, and to just continue um, to think of things that will be more positive, and to be positive in the world. Um, and you're still going to have days where you're not, and that's okay, because we're still human. And I still certainly have those days, but I have been able to now um, find things to be able to switch it quickly and sort of turn things around a bit.
And I think we've all lost loved ones at some point. And, and you shared about the hospice and having the nurse there. And let me tell you something, we can't always be there for everybody as much as we always want to. But I think the most important thing is to live your life with no regrets, and not being in that space. of knowing that you have done all you can to do the right thing in the highest and best way possible in the space of love and happiness.
Yeah.
And, and if somebody, died right now, and there people are dying every day,
Mhm.
the way life is, because we're not going to get out of here alive,
Yeah.
the way it is.
Yeah.
And, it's like if you were so angry at that person because of their beliefs, and then all of a sudden, because they believe differently from you, from your political party, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? So
Mhm.
what is more important is that person passing, and giving them that hug, giving that love, and for yourself, because if not, you carry that burden.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you will carry that as an albatross till the day you die, unless if you create forgiveness around it and move on. It's just the way the laws work. It's the
Mhm.
laws of the universe. It's the laws of God. It's the laws of abundance, the laws of forgiveness. It's the laws of give and take,
Yeah.
of creating and receiving, and love and happiness. You
Mhm.
cannot live in love if you have hate.
That's
They
right.
cannot live in the same space. It just doesn't work. You
Mhm.
turn on the light is on. You turn light off, there's darkness. Flip the switch. And that's just the way it goes. So I am grateful for you, and for sharing what you share, and creating a community of people, of women who need that nurturing, who need more godliness and those daily word and inspirations in their life, because it makes a difference. And sometimes it'll be a day when I just turn it on because I need that feeding to myself, or I'm sure with me, the posts I do, you need that feeding.
Yeah.
And we never know when we're going to be speaking, and sometimes we think we're speaking to nobody and nobody's listening. And somebody's always listening. That's what I always hear, because when I post something that's not so good, people are still listening, and then I hear it. So I know people are listening when it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It works both ways, because you can't have one without the other.
Mhm.
It's all in our head. It's in our mindset. We think that people aren't listening, when people are. We talk ourselves out of love. We talk ourselves out of, you know, I'm going to go into real quickly my little acronym that I created today. And I know there's another name for it, whatever they call it when you have the words that create something. And mine is called flow, FLOW, flow.
Mhm.
And I want you to take notes, whoever is out there, because these are major, major words of wisdom. And it came to me this morning because I said, what is it that what's the most important things to be focusing on today? And the F was for figuring it out, was what came first, was figuring it out. Figure out, what is it that you really want? Do you
Mm.
want to be right, or do you want to be happy?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are happy being miserable. Is that your choice? Being miserable and making other people miserable? Because here's the other F word that came into it after. When you're in that place of happy being miserable, you have to figure out, are you being led by fear?
Mm.
And it's the fear, which is the 4-letter word, that
Mhm.
is the scariest of all. And we have been led for many years by fear. Our whole lives we've been led. We feed off of fear, and we can be very fear driven. We have to force ourselves, another 4-letter word, to get
Mhm.
out. And
Yeah.
it's like, let the force be with us, is what Yoda said, believe in the force. What is the force that you want to hear? Do you want to follow? Is the force, are you going to force yourself to get out of fear and go to the light and be happier? Because it takes work, but it is just something that we're not used to doing. And we need to force ourselves to learn new habits, to be happier.
Mhm.
And that is really the F word here that we're talking about, is forcing us to figure it out. What is it that you really want? To be happy or right? So that was number one.
I like that.
Number two, and Gloria, you do this. Marjorie, I live off of this, is laughter.
Yeah.
Laughter leads to love. And that's the way it is. I have so many, like, I could bring laughter into so many places. Of course, me having being a clown for how many years of my life, when I was in my younger days and doing parties, that I live off of laughter. You know, in my house, people think we're insane because in the middle of somebody breaking an arm or falling flat on our faces, we're like, I remember one time I fell in the garage. I was carrying all these aromatherapies and I tripped over a hose in the garage. And I'm walking and my kids, well, there's two circumstances when I tripped in the garage. So what's that telling you? Too much stuff in my garage, right, Marjorie? Inside joke. So anyway, so I tripped this one time and my son Kyle, who was younger, and Carrie at the time, and my daughter Carrie, I'm laying there in total pain. I saved the aromatherapy bottles. My hands are killing me. My knees are in pain. I'm laying there sprawled out like a dead fish, right? And all I could think of is saying, I'm in pain. I know you guys want to laugh and just go ahead because I look like an idiot. So go ahead and laugh. It's okay, but mom is in pain right now. And we started laughing and it literally took me out of that pain. And when you stop taking things so personally in life, you can laugh at things. And, oftentimes, it's changing that state. Tony Robbins says it the best. You got to change the state. You got to change the emotional state. It's NLP. I'm a master in NLP. Change that state. When you change the state of anger, of fear, and you can start laughing through it and find something funny, like this election thing is hysterical. It's hysterical. People are so wrapped up in like what Marjorie says, things you can't even change.
Yeah.
Like the little 3-year-old says, Mommy, when are we going to change the map station? I mean, come on, that's funny. So it's like find the funny things. And when you're in a heated moment, just redirect, and find something to laugh about because laughter leads to love. Number 3, which is O for flow, to stay in your flow, is what you mentioned earlier, Gloria. And it's your opinion. Everybody has one and nobody cares. All I care about is our own opinion. So, you're not going to, nobody's going to force anybody. The only way people understand to change is when we lead by example. And we lead by example. Anybody can create a tribe. Jim Jones created a tribe, everybody creates their own tribe. Oprah creates a tribe. Everybody creates a tribe. Anybody and anything. You can have a gecko, a pet rock creating a tribe. I mean, come on. So anybody can create a tribe. And I think the most important thing is like, what is your opinion and what kind of opinion do you want to lead? And lead by example. And is it light and love? And we're going to go back to figuring it out. It's going to be fear driven because that's going to make you miserable. And then the fourth thing is winning, that for the W. And how do you want to win? What is your outcome? And it's happiness. And that's what's going to get you through from the, out of the chaos into the peace, is winning, because the house always wins in the long run at a casino. You want to be the house, your home, your life, your inner soul wants to win. And how do we win? By love. And by sharing it.
Yeah.
And we keep our opinions to ourselves. We can say what we want to say, but like you said, if it's not working out and you can see it going downhill, because it's going to go downhill at some point. If you're in disagreement, you just say, you know what, let's stop and we're going to laugh it off, and think of something funny to say, because there's always going to be something funny out of it by the look that they're giving you. Like, I can see that you're not getting it, so I'm going to stop right now, whatever it is. And I think that's the most important, to share is, how to stay in your flow. And you can get into it by laughter, by music, by meditation, by just taking a moment when the phone rings, make your own phone to ring and stop, right? Because nobody can create it for you. life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, or happens for you to you. What I always forget. Life happens
Somebody else says it happens through you. So,
through you.
yeah.
It does. It happens to you because we're creating it. So what are you putting out there?
Yeah.
And we can say it happens for us too.
Yeah.
I guess it all happens the same way. But we just have to know that we're creating that world that we're attracting into it, and then anger. And we need to come back in unity. That's the bottom line. Unity, it doesn't matter if you're bleeding blue. It doesn't matter if you're bleeding red. What matters is that we're bleeding in this world. We're in pain. We need healing. We need to change because we cannot continue this way. Whoever is in office.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is in office. We need to start loving each other again. And I think that that's the most important thing, is to start loving each other again.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So there's two more things I want to do. And if anybody wants to add to it, I would love for you. But I have two special things at the end. Of course, one is the meditation, a quickie to bring us in so we can leave at a better place than when we came. And also I have a friend of mine, Heather Podeska, who shared something this morning. It was a memory that she had, our Facebook memory that came up, and from a couple of years ago, before the last elections were coming up. I think it was 2 years ago. So there was the interim elections and other things that happened. So if there's anything that you would like to add before I put that on, or you know what, I'll just put it on and then we can chat for a second after. How's that?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on because this is great. This is great. So let me just put this on the one area, and I can't wait. Heather has no idea I'm doing this. Heather is a friend of mine. She is she's like a public speaking coach. Mm-hmm. And she also works with fashion. So she helps with presentation, polishing you up. She can get you in front of, $1 million clients and kick butt. She has a background as a performer and opera singer. So she is pretty amazing. Love her. I met her years ago with a coaching client. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And okay, you should be able to see her now. Can you see her? Now I cut off part of it because it is a little bit long, but I want you to listen to the words and what she's going to say. Like I said, this is from 2 years ago, from 2018. And she says, let's change the rules that divide us. So she took a poem because she does poetry. I love following Heather. She does poetry and she puts it into music a lot, or she just puts into photos and that's how she, does her journaling. So she put this to a rap, which, white woman can rap. She's okay with it. She's much better than I would ever be. So I live vicariously through Heather. Here we go.
A lot of us, especially in the United States right now, are on edge about our big election tomorrow. And there's a lot of heightened feeling, a lot of divisiveness. And I thought, well, what can we do? What can we do? Because we can't be strong if we're divided. So this poem started out with the Kavanaugh trials, and it evolved over time. And my hope is that if you hear it, it'll encourage you to reach out to somebody that maybe doesn't look like you, doesn't sound like you, maybe doesn't even think like you, so that we can start to have more unity in our country, especially with this big election coming up. So I'm a little bit nervous. It's live. I haven't performed this really live like this before. And my reps come to me the way they come to me, in the voice that they come to me. So I'm just going to share it that way. This is called Dem Broke Ass Rules. Here goes. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, dem broke ass rules has gots to go, from which we should not deviate, where men can howl and bloviate and still be named to heads of state. But women's gots to keep it low. We mustn't let our feelings show, 'cause if we do, we're nothing more than weak and frail and such a bore. Eeny, meeny, miny, may, dem broke-ass rules should change today and make it fair for all to play and have our say in our own way and drop the lens through which we paint the world we think that is but ain't, because all we do and all we see protects our own reality and makes us feel like we are strong, like we are right, and they are wrong. Eeny, meeny, miny, mick, them broke-ass rules should change right quick, because all they do is make us sick and keep us stuck in politics, when where we really need to go is to the heart, down to the soul, and see each other as we are, not opposition from afar, but folks who drive to work each day, who love our kids, who want to play, who want to see the world abound, not beat each other to the ground. Eeny, meeny, miny, mac. It's time to take our country back and heal the wounds from these attacks, from left on right and white on black and him on her and fake from fact. And realize we're all we got here in our big melting pot. Let's love each other as ourselves and put that hate back on a shelf. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Damn broke-ass rules has gots to go. So there it is. There it is about dim broke-ass rules that we're swimming in right now that is keeping us so divided. And I really hope that if you heard this, it inspires you to reach out to somebody, to connect to somebody, because together we stand, divided we fall. And we have to be able to find some common ground, some love, people, some love for each other to make our country truly great again. So if you found this inspirational, if you think it could help, please share it on out. If you'd like to know more about me, you can find me at heatherpoduska.com. Until next time, here's to hitting all your high notes. Bye-bye.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay, I have to follow her now.
Right? Is she amazing? Oh my gosh, she's so awesome.
Mhm.
So I'll have to have her on one day, and definitely. So do you want to share anything with this?
How do you spell her last name?
Oh, P as in Paul,
Mhm.
O D as in David, U
Mhm.
S as in Sandy,
Oh,
K A Poduska.
okay, got it. Okay. Oh, I love that. Ooh,
Right? I know. Wait till she hears that I put it out there. I'm so excited.
oh my God, I loved it. Yes.
I know. And when I heard that this morning, I just thought it was so perfect. I could not help but share it and let other people hear, because it truly is those,
Mhm.
how did she say it? The broke ass rules, or them,
Yeah.
Yeah,
them
Gotta go.
gotta go.
Yeah, so she can rap. She did a great job with it. And it wasn't really a rap, it was a poem, which could be easily made into a rap song of some sort. Anything else that anybody wants to add to this call and to this video chat that we did?
I think she had a good message. I think good words to follow is really, let's come together no matter what and just start healing the divisiveness. There's always going to be people out there that thrive on chaos and anger, but that doesn't mean that we have to. And frankly, because let's face it, the people that are watching you, they're not that people. They're not those people.
Y'all may have different.
But sometimes I think we can be, sometimes it's scary sometimes to really be the love that we want to see in the world. There's the expression be the change, but how about be the love we want to see in the world?
I like that, be the love. And the thing is that, everything, when you're not used to loving out loud, it's scary and it's hard. You're worried about what people are going to think. Oh, you're mushy. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. And you know what? Everything we do is a challenge. Everything we do that's different is different and going to be hard. And like the first time you do a video live, Facebook Live, the first time you're, do a radio interview, the first you're writing a book, everything that we do, every product. I mean, I've created an entire e-commerce business. I mean,
yeah,
failure, Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I just have this thought. Children fail when they're learning to walk, and yet we don't berate them for it. We
Yeah,
encourage them. We're like,
Mhm.
oh, yay, good job, get up, let's do it again. So let's do that for ourselves and just go out there and step out. And yeah, so what if you fall? Just get up again. It's all right. Just keep going because it will
Yeah.
get easier. You do master it. We learned to walk, didn't we?
And it is a matter of being
Yes.
that
No,
you
start over.
go ahead.
Mhm. I just said start all over again. That's it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's also important about having a sacred space to come to. And
Mhm.
like I said in the beginning, I had, my own groups that I'm a part of where I can speak loudly and clearly without hurting anybody's feelings because that's my beliefs
Yeah.
and in those political places. And I think it's important, when you're ready to start changing or do something different or speak out loud, do it in our safe groups,
Mhm.
before you start doing it with other people, because
True.
you have to build up your courage.
Mhm.
You have to heal your wounds
Yeah.
in order for you to begin to feel like it's part of you and your skin, the new
Yeah.
skin that you're creating.
Absolutely.
And you have to have a group of people that that are supporting you with that, because if you're around other people that are berating you and they don't get you, you're always going to be pushed backwards. We have to keep moving forwards and light and love and happiness to find it in the peace.
Yep.
But-
To see your flow.
Yeah, I want to share. Laughter was the word that struck because I'm only just beginning to see how important laughter plays in my life.
Mhm.
My husband is very funny, and I never appreciated his sense of humor till recently. And I have two sons who are equally funny. When those three get together, I just sit back and have a good old time. I grew up so serious, so in line, so formal. But laughter is so important. And I'm just laughing so much more now than I used to.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's good, Marjorie. That's great. Yeah,
Keep
laughter.
you young.
You crack
The-
up. You crack up. Always laughing.
Yeah. And I never appreciated that until just recently.
That's so important. That's a huge aha.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you know what? We're never too old to change.
Every- you know, yeah.
I was going to say, in the 4 agreements, it's like, and I think that's the thing. It's like we're so worried about what other people are thinking about us. We're so worried about, taking, what other people are thinking about us and taking it personally. And, that we're doing the wrong thing, we're doing the right thing. And we can't, you know what? A child is it, like you said, Gloria, a child, if they're going to be laughing about everything,
Mm.
Right.
are they ashamed?
That's right.
We're
Yeah.
laughing with them. They make us laugh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think that's what it's coming back, is opening up and being that child again, and knowing that it's okay to fall down. You can get back
Mhm.
up, and that we can laugh about it, and it's okay, and laugh with us, or or laugh at us. It's okay. It's okay.
Yep.
And laugh at your
Yep.
yeah. So, so I'm going to close out now, and we're going to just do a little, just a little guided, quick meditation, and just
Okay.
to bring us back to what it is that we really want in our lives and what is driven. Oh, I can even pull a card. I'll pull a card real quick. Here's a card.
Yeah.
That's just what I do, right?
Yes.
They always seem to be right on. Funny how that is. Okay. What is our message for today? Okay, and it's Archangel Raphael, and it's the lovers, and it's all about, intimate relationships, which is funny because it's like our intimate relationships are with yourselves. That's what it comes back down to. It's with ourselves.
Mhm.
And it's, it says carefully weigh your decisions. Isn't that what we said earlier?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Figure it out. What is it that you want? How do you want to win? Figure it out. And, carefully weigh your decisions. How are you going to show up? And that's what good health is. Stay in good health. Because that's what it was all about. We're coming here. How do we get ourselves out of chaos, stress?
Mhm.
and get ourselves into health again. Good health is peace. And so that was a great message and a great card for us to remember, is to live in love, the lovers. It's not one lover, it's lovers.
That's right.
It's all of us. I mean, what an amazing, it's like he's taking his huge ass angels wings and wrapping them around all of us and saying, hey, look, we are all lovers in this world. We have to have these intimate relationships with each other and with ourselves so we can live in happiness and love, to show up in the way that we need to show up, to make that change, to make our good decisions, to figure out it's a choice, to live happier rather than being miserable, and to move forward and to live in good health. And with that being said, right? What else can you ask? I don't need to do a meditation after that. I still Oh yeah, and my shirt I chose today is breathe. So, all right. So we'll just close our eyes for a second. Let's breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. Breathe in love. Breathing out peace. Relaxing your shoulders. Relaxing your body. And allowing your heart to align, to be in the flow, to be in the unity and the spirit of God and the universe and humanity. For what is it that we need in this world to unite? What is it that we need? The answer can only be love. Love in your heart, love in your life, love in your home. Love is your happiness. Love is your happy place. Love is your city. Love is your state. Love is your country. Love is your world. Love is your happy place. Happiness is your family. Happiness is your friends. Happiness is your people. Happiness is your state, your city, your country, your world. Happiness is our world. Happiness is our humanity. Happiness is doing the right thing in the right moment for yourself to create your happiness. So you can create that ripple effect and to see us all uniting together through color, through races, through rich and for poor, for goodness and for sickness and for health. For all of it, through death do us all parts in this world, to become the higher species that we're supposed to be, which is love and uniting in happiness, serving each other, helping each other. And if we live in this world that we see right now with our eyes so closed, we see it through our mind's eye, a world that is unified through love, no matter what the outcome of our politics are. Seeing people healing, loving, and laughing. From this moment forward, within your home and within your life and within your world. Allowing yourself right now to take your hands to your heart, breathing it in, breathing it out. Allowing your hands to come up to your shoulders and giving yourself a hug because you need it so much right now. And we're all hugging each other for love, for happiness. Breathing that in. And one last, put your hands out, palms forward, facing each other. As we all know that we're holding each other's hands with a ripple of light around us to create this world to be a better place in unity and love. And for this, we are so forever grateful. Amen. Aho and namaste.
Mhm.
Namaste.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you, Gloria.
Yes, thank you. Everybody follow each other, join each other's groups, and thank you, Heather, too, for being in our sacred space, and anybody else joining us. I will definitely go back and look at the comments, and for that, we are so forever grateful. We'll see you next Thursday for Transformational Thursday. Join us on Zoom Live or in the groups.
Nice meeting you, Gloria. Bye.
Have a fantastic
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.